Hey everybody, it is Jesse. Um, for new followers of the YouTube channel, I am one half of Chess Goals, probably more like 1/10 of Chess Goals. And I haven't been on YouTube too often, but let's take this chess personality quiz. So it's been very popular in our Discord, and I've never seen it before, so we're going to go completely from nothing and see what personality I get. So, all right, which side would you rather play in the following position? Oh man, this is like a real chess position here. Okay, so it's black to move. Okay, so white is committed to castling queenside. Black is very likely going to castle kingside. I feel like man, it's a very dynamic position. Um, what's material count? Rook, 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 rook. Knight, knight. So all minors, all queens. So there's just a few pawns that have been missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns versus 7 pawns. All right, so white is up a pawn, but black is much more on the attack. White looks pretty solid, but black's position looks crazy. So they're threatening this e pawn. This pawn storm is coming quickly. I do like that black hasn't castled yet, actually, to stay more flexible, or maybe just keep their king in the middle. His bishop is a bit of a problem, though. Maybe move like... Man, I don't see the coordinates, so I have to actually think about it. So knight f5? Is that the right square? Hopefully you can see my mouse. Hits this bishop again. Who would I rather play? I don't want to spend like a ton of time on it. I feel like white is just a little more solid here. This pawn is hanging, though. This square is well defended. I see, like, if they castle or something, this square is well defended. What they push this pawn and sacrifice this pawn, well, we can just take with the knight at this point. This pawn storm coming doesn't really scare me. I think white's going to be able to close it up. I think I would rather take white here. Up a pawn, and it's just a matter of getting to black's king. If king goes queen, black goes queenside, they have no protection, no pawns around their king. If they go kingside, I feel like our attack is gonna be pretty quick. I'm going to go white. When you play in tournaments, okay, so all 3 times, do you usually score with consistent results, or do you often perform on the extremes, really well or really poorly? I'd say consistent so far. I've only done a few over the board tournaments. Which best describes how you think about this position in the Sveshnikov Sicilian? Okay, well, I do not play white and I do not play the Sicilian, so this should be interesting. Black has given up a critically important square in d5. This seems true, but I think that's actually kind of common in these Sicilians. I think maybe not. I have no idea. Don't play the Sicilian. Black has a lot of potential counterplay with the bishop pair and the f5 pawn break. So f5 here. Yeah, that's a good point. It does destabilize the knight too with f5. If you want to defend with the pawn, you kind of open yourself up. So how do I think about this position? I mean, I think both are true. Black has given up a critically important d5 square. But at the same time, black can challenge that square pretty easily. So just like drop the knight to e7. I'm going to go with black as... Oh, I didn't try to submit that, but I think I clicked the right one. Black has counterplay at the f5. Hope that didn't mess up my results. We will see. Okay, which statement is closer to the truth? I bring my best game when facing opponents I dislike, or I don't really notice my opponents. I don't really notice my opponent. Black has just played g5. Your first instinct is to take on g5 or retreat to g3. Let's see. I would have to think about it a little bit. Take. I don't think there's enough of an attack here to take. I think I would probably drop back. If I take, what am I going to do? Take here with the bishop again? I guess maybe then queen d queen d3. The lack of coordinates here are messing me up. So take, queen d3. I don't think there's enough. I kind of don't want to drop back and let him push either. But it does look a little better. First instinct, I would say retreat. I just don't think there's enough of an attack here. Although, take with the knight, take with the bishop, maintain this pin. Just run an h-pawn. Maybe push this pawn and check with the rook. This rook is horribly placed. Let's try this again. Take, take. Black can do anything. Eventually I can get this pawn push, get the rook over, get the queen over. I want to say retreat, guys. It's close, though. I'll retreat. Do you play gambits? I don't really play gambits, but I want to learn how to play gambits, so I'm going to say no. How do you think you would... How would you think about whether or not to take on g5 as white? Oh, this is the same position. Okay. So, at least I think it's the same position, same elements. I would evaluate the placement of the pieces. Oh no, I just submitted it. I didn't even read the second one. Okay, I was just trying to click around. Under serious time pressure, you are more likely to miss a tactic or move pieces aimlessly. Both. But I think probably miss a tactic. I think in general, I have a decent idea of where to move the pieces. Miss a tactic. Which of these ideas do you prefer for white? Alright, so white should trade bishops and put a strong knight on d4. So right here. Which will prevent any counterplay from black doubling rooks on the c-file by defending c2. Okay, immediately I don't even think of this much strategy in advance, so I'm disqualifying myself. Okay, white should push d4, temporarily misplacing black's dark squared bishop, and then start an attack on the king side, where with f5, with the black king, where the black king sits alone. Okay, so I think so the crux is, do we take here, take and plant a knight on d5, or do we push and shut out that bishop? This is a pretty bad bishop for us. But if I push here, it kind of becomes a good bishop. So do I push, drop the bishop back? This pawn is well defended if I do push. And then go f5. It does look very nice. Take, and there's just nothing around the king. Now, I think that looks better. So push d4, temporarily misplacing black's dark square bishop, and then go f5. It does look better than just trading and putting a knight here. All the elements in the position are pointing to this kingside attack. So like if you push here, your pawns are pointing this way, make the pawn break, all your pieces are right there, nothing for black around the king. I gotta go B. D4, start an attack on the king. That's what I'm going for. Do you start the game out with d4? Or you start the game out with d4. Would you rather your opponent play d5 or f5? No preference. I would say I'm more booked up against d5, so I would say d5. f5, I don't know much about, but it's a much more dynamic position. I would say d5. Have you been ahead? Sorry, you have been ahead of pawn for most of the game, but after tough resistance from your opponent, you have only 5 minutes left in this position. Should you play on or offer your opponent a draw? Okay, I'm not going to offer a draw. What about... no, never offering a draw here, especially with 5 minutes. That's plenty of time. Keep pushing for the win, 100%. I'm just looking... Not 100%, 98%. Just looking to see if this pawn ever gets dangerous. I don't think so. So you could just like plant your knight here, and then Or no, maybe plant your knight here, check. King moves anywhere, and then this knight has to babysit this pawn the whole time. You can kind of just get your king in. Yeah, for sure, keep pushing for the win. Which statement comes closest to your feelings? It's always a joy to be paired with someone you've crushed in the past, or the odds of winning are slightly higher against opponents one has previously beaten. I guess the odds of winning are slightly higher against opponents one has previously beaten. So I guess this is like trying to figure out if I'm an emotional or logical player. I don't really like love. I mean, I don't know. I guess the odds of winning are slightly higher against opponents one has previously beaten. I guess that one resonates a little more with me. All right. Plenty of time on the clock. What do you do in this position? Trade on e6. Okay, valid. And play rook d7 because the endgame is good for white. Or redirect the knight to c3. Wait, c3? Via a4 to preserve a better minor piece. Yeah, so this is a pretty bad bishop. So take here. I don't really think that's a better endgame. Because this bishop is so restricted by all these pawns, I can't really get too close over here. I would probably retain this knight. Look at all these holes. So you can plant a knight on any of these squares, like on these dark squares, and it's not going anywhere. I would definitely... first instinct is to retreat. Invest some serious time into calculating whether knight takes e6 achieves anything concrete. I would, but I think the principle of, or like the idea of the position, bad bishop, good knight. These pawns are all so locked. If they ever like push or something, you can just push back, and then bishop is still going to be super constrained. What would I do? I'm so confused because these are two different plans. Trade on e6 and play rook d7, or redirect the knight to c3. Okay, I didn't try to click that one, but I think that's the one I was gonna pick. All right, I gotta stop. I gotta stop misclicking in chesspersonality.com. What do you think about the famous saying, chess is 99% tactics? I don't think so. There's opening prep, endgame, strategic stuff. I'd say it's probably like 80. How do you feel about this wild gambit line for white? It's black to move. Or line for black, white to move. I don't know if I messed that up. Okay, so white's queen is hanging. What do I think of this for white? Or sorry, for black. What have we all lost here? We've dropped a rook. We've dropped 2 pawns to our opponent's 1. Okay, so we just have hung a rook. We're probably going to get the piece back. What happens if they check here, though? Oh, wait, no, they can't check. Never happened, didn't say it. They check here, we take. Where does this queen go? Here? I mean, they don't want to, like, go somewhere over here. That looks weird. I mean, I don't hate it. I like my chances, and this will definitely mess with my opponent. It seems like too much material. So let's say they move their queen somewhere. Okay, could go here. I guess that's the only square to keep it on this side of the board. It kind of just looks like black blunders, though. I'm going to say, no way am I trying to lose. I would rather just play something much more solid. After losing a game, have you ever broken something or yelled out loud? No. White to play in castle, queenside or kingside? Ooh. It's a good question. I don't hate either. I would probably play both. queenside here. How fast is our attack coming? So queenside. So opposite side castling, it's all about who can get there first with their pawns. So if I go queenside and they take, our pawns are coming pretty quick. We castle queenside, what's their pawn move? This doesn't work, this pawn is blocked. A5? That's pretty slow. I may go queenside here, but I feel like the type of player I am, I would go kingside. If I was playing like a slow, it kind of depends if I'm playing against a lower rated opponent. If I'm playing against a lower rated opponent, I'd probably just go kingside and take my nice like positional advantage. These queen and bishop lining up against the h7 pawn is really handy, and I feel like my pieces are pretty just well placed in general. So I guess I would go kingside against a lower rated opponent, queenside maybe against a stronger player because I feel like it's a bit more critical. So flip a coin, kingside or queenside. I'll go kingside just because I kind of like this position for white, and if I go queenside, the game just gets a little crazy. So I'd probably just pack it in with my nice positional advantage. Which is closer to the truth? I get excited or nervous before a game, or I don't worry about prizes, money, titles, honors while playing. I just play my game. I definitely get very nervous and excited before over the board games, so I'll go with that one. What would you come up with? How would you come up with the plan in this position as white? Okay, so maybe I should just come up with a plan before I read the answers. Okay, so we have black has a big center. No pieces have been exchanged, including pawns. I just need to get developed. I would like to trade off my light square bishop because it's terrible, although so is black's light square bishop. This like almost looks like a terrible Catalan where you didn't play d4 or something. Boy, I don't know. I would consider taking here and taking some way with my e-pawn to open up a line for my rook. Okay, so consider strengths and weaknesses of black position and decide where my pieces feel best. Or I would calculate some line for white to see how strong various possibilities are. I don't think I'm in like hardcore calculation mode right now. I would much more come up with a plan for like where do I feel like the pieces should go, what do the pawn breaks give me, but I wouldn't sit here and calculate like a 20 move variation, not that I could. We're still in the early part of the game, so it's probably practical just to figure out where your pieces are going to be happy and where you want to develop. So I would go with A. Which is harder for me, identify my advantages and building a plan, or trade a good position for a strong attack? Probably trade a good position for a strong attack. Okay, right. This is it. How'd we do? Oh, I'm very not into. Oh wait, very intuitive, not calculating. Okay, so I'm a mastermind. Okay, attacking versus positional. I think I'm a little more positional actually. Aggressive versus solid. Yes, much more solid. Intuitive versus calculating. These are like completely counteracting. I'm attacking, but solid, but intuitive. Okay, so attacking and intuitive go together, and yes, much more calm than emotional. All right, mastermind, baby, that's what I'm talking about. They seek to master both their own emotions and to impose their reality on the chessboard. Mastermind always seeks the right moves and believes that attacking is the right way. Okay. Alekine. Yeah, I'm just like Alekine. I get that a lot, actually. Recommend app opening. Roy Lopez, Queen's Gambit. Also Roy Lopez. Okay. French Defense. Okay, well, I don't play any of that, so maybe I should switch my opening. All right, that was fun. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.